Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Jax. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm asking the question, why do people change when they get into relationships? So, in my sphere of influence, the people that I know in my world, I have a few people who have recently gotten into relationships. And what is so interesting about this is those people have changed, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst, and their behavior and how they interact with me, how they interact with our mutual friends, and how they interact with their new partner is quite different than who I know these people to be. So I wanted to try and dissect this idea and maybe come up with some solutions or some answers as to why do these people act different when they get into relationships. So, first of all, I think logically, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for somebody to dramatically change who they are as a person when they get into a relationship. I think if you want to find somebody who loves you for who you are, it doesn't make much sense to try and change who you are in order to fit this person's wants or aspirations, or in order to sort of play a role. You know, these people are now playing the role as boyfriend or as girlfriend. And I have never quite understood this. I've asked people before when I have been in relationships, hey, do I change? And on the whole, most people have agreed that I'm pretty much the same person through and through. You know, I am maybe a bit more accommodating to my partner, which can be a bit frustrating if you're a friend of mine. But these friends have said, no, honestly, Jax, like, you are pretty much the same when you're single versus when you're dating. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice to know. At least I'm not, altering myself in such a way that my friends are noticing and going, why is he acting like this? However, some of these friends have recently sort of changed, and it's not so much that they're just accommodate the partner more, it's that their entire behavior has changed. One of my friends who is very unassuming, would never impose, would never want to sort of object, or very just accommodating. A friend who just enjoys being there and not necessarily rocking the boat or coming up with ideas or suggestions, has recently become very forward pushy and very, we're gonna do this, we're doing this, I'm doing this, and we're coming here, to the point where they've almost they have invited themselves out to hang out with me when it wasn't a good time. They have really pushed the limit of what is acceptable in a relationship, and it's only been because of this new partner in my estimation of it all. And I could be wrong, of course, but I don't think I am. And I was thinking about this the other day of why does this person suddenly act and behave this way, or think that this is an appropriate way to behave? And I know the way I'm talking about it sounds very harsh. It's not as harsh as the way it sounds. It's just I'm trying to talk about it in an objective way. And by distancing myself from it, it sounds harsh, but it's really not. I love this person, but I'm just curious as to why they have felt that imposing their will is suddenly some new part of their personality when it never was before. And I think it's to impress this partner. I think it's to impress this person and make them feel that my friend is sort of in charge and large and in charge and, calling the shots, when in fact they never did this before. Another friend is currently seeing somebody who really doesn't like me, who really has a problem with me, and I can tell from, the few encounters I've had that this person doesn't like me. And, I'm a human being. I'm not necessarily the easiest to get around. I have a personality, I have ideas and thoughts, and I'm happy to share them with people. And so I often come in contact with people who don't like me, but I rarely come into contact with people who don't like me, but also constantly end up seeing me because we have a mutual connection in my friend and their partner, who is the same person now. And this person is almost trying to play like a game of war, like I will win, I will be, the only person left in this mutual friends relationship pool. And that is really not the approach you should take with me, because I am super honest and I'm going to just call you out. And so at this moment, I'm sort of not in an argument or anything like that, but I've just told my mutual friend, like, your partner doesn't like me in the slightest. I really don't care for them that much. I find them to be very abrasive, very petulant, very pouty. And, I've come clean. My friend has thanked me for my honesty, really appreciated it, has shared some of her issues and thoughts about the whole situation. And so I think we're on the same page, but I just find it bizarre that, people will accommodate and people will find it appropriate to sort of deal with that kind of thing and to let it run their whole life, let it run their situation. And I get that, when you think you've found your person, it can be hard to sort of grapple with your whole identity and yourself in this situation. But at the same time, I just cannot imagine drastically changing my plans or my thoughts or my personality just because someone else is in the room. I'm at that point in my life where I've never done that. I've never thought, oh gosh, I got to watch what I say, or, do that kind of thing. And yet other people kind of feel the need to. The third situation is really not going in a productive way in so much as I haven't interacted with this friend that much since they have gotten into this relationship, because it's just not the vibe. This new partner, I don't think is like a constructive or useful person in this whole thing. And so I've just taken myself out of the equation. But since this relationship has existed, my friend has become rather insufferable and difficult to be around. And that's why I've kind of just said, you know what, dude, you do you. And, if it doesn't work out, you can hang out with me later. And this person really hasn't like understood why I've done this. And I've been pretty honest about it. Just said like, sorry, like I just don't like your girlfriend. Like, she doesn't like me, I don't like her, and I don't like how you're acting when you're with her. It's that easy. And this one has like pretty much understood why I've done what I've done and kind of gets it. And he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's like, but I'm like, do you really? Because like, if you would understand like the problems I'm having and the problems you're having, why would you continue this thing? Or like, why not at least like communicate with the partner and say, hey, like, I don't like what this is doing. Like, but he's not there yet. He's still playing the game, and it's early in the relationship, so we'll see how it goes, but it's not my issue. And I think that is the best piece of advice for this whole video. To sum up those three stories is, you cannot control who the people in your life decide to date, decide to get into relationships with, but you can control your reaction to it. You can control how honest and open you are with the people that you care about. And you also get to control how much you are involved with these people. It can be very hard when it's a very close friend or a family member who just starts dating somebody you don't get along with. But in these situations, all you can control is your own thoughts and opinions and how you carry yourself, how you behave. Be the better person, be the bigger person, and don't let these situations really get to you. And also, when you get into a relationship, don't change. Don't alter yourself dramatically in order to appease the other person, because you're just going to upset your friends and your family. You're going to alienate yourself from everyone in your life. It is so common nowadays to get into a relationship and then drop all of your friends. And I don't understand why people do this. I will have a friend who I haven't seen in 8 years hit me up all of a sudden and say, hey, do you want to hang out? And I'm like, what? Like, you stopped caring about me 8 years ago. And they're like, yeah, well, I just like me and Jennifer just broke up. And, I was just thought like we could all hang out again. It's like, what? So your relationship breaks up and you realize that you have been an awful friend to all of the people in your life, and then you leave this person or this person leaves you, and you decide, oh well, I'll just like hit all these people up again. It's like you caused actual hurt, you caused actual difficulty in people's lives, and you just want to jump back into it as if nothing had happened. um I'm sorry, but I don't want those people in my life. I don't want you back in my life if I know that you're just going to get into another relationship and run away again. Like, what's the point? I think you should be able to have a healthy, functioning relationship while also maintaining your friends and your family and your connection with your community. The idea that you have to somehow shut the taps off and you just don't have enough bandwidth for multiple relationships, friendships, and a dating relationship, that's wild to me. I can't imagine getting a boyfriend and then suddenly getting rid of all my friends and just being like, nope, all I need is him. Like, what? No. Like, I love my friends. I love my family. The reason I see them is because I have a good interaction with them. They keep me grounded. They keep me from going insane. And why on earth would I drop all these people? Like, it should be an addition, not instead of. So that's my thoughts. It sucks that people change when they're in relationships. You get to choose if you want to be like the shoulder to cry on when the relationship fails. You get to be the arbiter of your own decisions and your own thoughts. So don't necessarily let it affect you. Don't let it bother you. Be as honest as you can with the people in your life who have gotten into relationships and just say, hey, I really don't like how this is changing you, or I really don't like how you are behaving in front of these people. And I think you'd be surprised at how often you can sort of solve problems before they even arise, before they really become toxic. It's incredible how quickly you can solve some of these issues. So that is my thought. I'd love to know what you think about this whole ridiculousness of people getting into relationships. I hope you've never had to experience like losing a friend through it. I've had to a few times, and it's really sucky. So yeah, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.